Most people think about relationship in one direction. They're thinking, you're doing these things to me, then when I like those things, I feel good. And when I don't like those things, then I feel negative. But actually, relationship is a form of a cycle. What I mean by a cycle is that each person affects the other person, and then the other person affects the first person. There are two types of cycles. There's a positive cycle and a negative cycle. A positive cycle is that when I do something that my partner thinks is positive, and when they think it's positive, they feel positive and they respond in a positive way, which usually would make me feel positive and then respond in a positive way. And then they respond in a positive way, and then I respond in a positive way. And that's a positive reinforcing cycle, because the more I do something positive, the more my partner does something positive. And then we feel closer and closer together and more connected. And this is exactly what we want in a relationship. When a relationship works well, we're in a positive cycle, not from a bad intention. Because no one goes into a relationship thinking to themselves, I'm going to make my partner feel miserable. So they're not doing it from a bad intention, but they're doing something that for me, it feels negative. I perceive it as negative, and so I feel negative. And then I respond in a negative way. And when I respond in a negative way, a lot of the time my partner feels negative, and then they respond in a negative way, and then I respond in a negative way, and then we're in a negative reinforcing cycle. So what ends up happening is that we both respond to one another in a negative way, and the cycle ends up escalating, because the more I feel negative stuff from my partner, the more angry and more frustrated I get, and then the more they respond to me in a negative way. There's two fundamental needs in relationship besides the security. One is to feel connected, and feeling connected means we feel loved, we feel special, we feel important, we feel a priority, we feel cherished by our partner. From the other side, there's a need for autonomy. Autonomy means that I'm appreciated, that I'm supported, that I can be independent, that I feel that you have my back, that I feel like I'm free to be myself. So we get those two interactions, these two principles of connection and autonomy interacting with one another. We want both of them, we need both of them. But sometimes in relationship, relationship can tend towards one more than the other, and also sometimes individuals can tend towards one or the other. If I want to feel really connected, if I want to feel really loved, and if I want to feel that you're really there for me, then the fear connected to it is that I'm not loved, that I'm rejected, that I'm abandoned, that I'm not wanted. Okay, so the fear of being lonely. On the other side, on the autonomy side, if I really want to feel like I can be myself, I can be you're there for me and you appreciate me and you value me, then the fear connected to it is that I'm not appreciated, I'm not valued, I'm not supported, or basically that I'm not enough for you. And so when you think about it, actually, all relationship challenges are connected to those two fears. Either I'm not loved, or I'm not enough, I'm not appreciated. Here's an example. A common problem that people have in relationship is saying, you don't listen to me. You're not listening to me, you don't hear me. If you think about it, when someone doesn't listen to you, when your partner specifically doesn't listen to you, what's the problem with that? The problem is that when you don't listen to me, I don't feel like you care about me. If I don't feel like you care about me, I don't feel loved. And we found one of the fears, I'm not loved. And that if a fight takes more than 3 minutes to resolve, then you're actually not talking about the real thing. Fights are like an iceberg, okay? Conflicts are like an iceberg. Iceberg has 10% above water and then 90% below water. So usually what we fight about is those 10% above the water. This is the issue. This is the thing that triggers it, like, are you on time or not? Or did you do the dishes? Did you organize the house? Or did you call me or not when you said that you would? This is the issue. Underneath the issue, there's something emotional we're looking for. Each person has only a few hot buttons like that. This is really important to understand. Again, like, you can fight over many, many different things. You can argue over many, many different things. But it's really just a symbol. It's just the issue. Underneath, there's certain sensitivities for each one of you. There are usually for every person, there are just one or two things, not more than that. And so basically, your partner is doing something that with your filters touches a certain hot button in you. There's one or two hot buttons. And when you feel that sensitivity, you feel the pain or the hurt or the fear, and that feeling is painful for you. So imagine that your partner is looking at you and telling you, I love you and I want to be really close to you. Take a moment to notice your feelings inside. Did something in you says, great, finally, wow, that's so amazing? Or did something in you also said, I like it, I want this, but I can't trust it, I don't know if it's true? All of those questions are questions of the connection, and I want you to just let yourself feel like, what's your gut reaction towards that? How much do you feel right now connected? How much a connection exists in your relationship? Or maybe there's something that you need to work on and improve on.
And 10 days in Kauai, maybe we should cut the trip for 2 and actually do part of the time in the Big Island and part of the time in Kauai. What do you think?
What do you mean? So you mean we have to change now our plans? So it's like, instead of spending all the 10 days, you want to go 5 of those days to Hawaii, to the Big Island? It's all amazing. I mean, did you stop to think for a moment, like, how do we change our flights? Like, how, we have to book new hotels. We have to rearrange everything that we already planned, and it's only 3 days, before the trip.
Because that's exactly the problem, that you can't think out of the box. Everything has to be as it's planned for you. And probably what's going to happen is that you're going to sit down there and read your books forever.
So one of the problems in communication is that we listen to our partner only enough to respond. So we listen to something that our partner says, and a lot of the time we just listen enough in order for us to formulate our response, and then we respond to them really quickly. What we're both really looking for in communication is to really feel seen and feel understood. We both want to feel, my partner gets me. They know exactly what's going on for me. They feel it. They get it. They're on my side. Most people don't know that there are 2 types of listening, not one. There's problem-solving listening, and then there's empathic listening. And they're very different. This is really small stuff that you can do on a daily basis that don't take much time, but creates a huge impact. So I want to talk about transitions. Transitions are both separations and reunion. Okay, so transition is divided to separation and reunion. Basically what it means is when we move from being together with our partner to being separate. Or when we move from being separate to being together. Those are the transitions. Moments of transitions are vulnerable in us because something in us is saying, do you still think about me? Do you still care about me? Are you still there? Okay. So we're actually wondering about that. We're actually questioning that. And so we need to do something that shows both us and our partner that we are connected.